Memory of Jared Orchen, and today we're learning the Haftorah Parshat Tazria, page 1431. This Haftorah is from the Book of Kings, and it's a part of our whole series of stories about the prophet Elisha. Elisha was a prophet, a whole prophet. Whenever anybody had problems, they went to Elisha. Elisha made miracles. No problem. What do you need? The water in Jericho are like poison. We'll fix it. Whatever needs to be taken care of is taken care of. It was like a type of a Moses type of prophet. You see, the later prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, they were prophets who were giving more lectures. They were lecturing the Jewish people, prophesying, don't do this, do this. Elisha was a prophet of the people. People were at Tzores, they had a hard time. They came to him. He helped them. He took care of business. It's a prophet that we like. He was a leader. He lived among his people. Now here comes a very interesting story. Because the Parshat, Tazria, speaks about leprosy, then the Haftorah speaks also about leprosy. But before that, there is a little piece that speaks before that about a little miracle that the prophet made. We'll start at the beginning and we'll go from there.
A man came from Shalisha, and he brought bread from the first harvest to Elisha, the man of God. 20 loaves of barley bread and fresh grain still in its husk in a sack. Elisha said, "Give it to the people to eat." His servant asked,
Okay, then first of all, a man came and brought to Elisha bread. He brought to the prophet. He didn't bring it to the people. But Elisha had a big yeshiva there. They were called Bnei Nevi'im, the disciples of the prophet. He had to feed them. You need to understand that it was a time that was a famine in Israel. It was a hard time in Israel at that time. And he brings them from the first crop probably. Then he told them, give it to the people and they'll eat. Go ahead.
The servant asked, "How can I give this to 100 men? It's simply not enough." Elisha said, "Give it to the people to eat, for God said they will eat and have food left over."
See, the whole theme that goes by Elisha in this Haftorah, and by Elisha in general, is if the prophet tells you something, just do it. Don't be a chacham. Don't ask questions. Don't question. Oh, but that's not going to be enough. The prophet says it's going to be enough, it's going to be enough. If it's going to work out, if a tzaddik says it's going to be, if the Rebbe says something it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Don't argue, don't say how it's going to happen and who and what and where. Just do it. Okay, he says if Hashem says it'll be enough and be left over.
He placed the food before them and they ate. There was food left over just as God had said.
Just as God had said. This is a little story from chapter 4 in the Book of Kings that kind of puts us in the mood for the next real big story. Okay, let's start with the...
Why do you think they included this story to start with? What do you think the significance is?
I don't know why it's maybe because the concept of starting with a positive thing. Maybe. It's a good question. I don't know why in the Haftorah they start from the end of chapter 4 and go into chapter 5.
Rabbi, the king at this time was
Jehoram, if I remember correct. Yeah, the son of Ahab. Ahab was a bad guy, and his king's son was not much better than him.
this is the bad time of the
one
king was good and the rest were rotten or something.
Oh, most of them were Tobo. That's the kings of Israel. You need to understand that in Shomron, in Samaria. These are
northern. Yeah, these are all northern.
Yeah, it's the 10 tribe, the kingdom of the 10 tribe, not the kingdom of David. And it's not Judah, not the kingdom of Judah. It was the kingdom of the 10 tribes.
And the 10 tribes were north?
10 tribes were north, and they were all bad kings.
Most of them, yeah.
And did they have any good kings?
Well, at the end.
And even the bad king, it's complicated. It's not so black and white as usual. They were all some of them were fighting the idols, but allowed the big two idols to continue. Some of them, you need to understand, even when you want to fight the idols, if the people are not on your page, even if you want to fight, you cannot fight. I mean, It's
This
complicated.
is the same prophet that did, there's more left over, like with the oil and the woman?
Yes,
Is
yes,
that in the
yes.
story? Is that in here?
It's Elisha, yeah, it's the
you're
same
right.
guy. Yes, a good, no, it's another Haftorah, we learned it, but he's a good guy, he has good stories, Elisha. Elisha made a lot of big miracles. Elisha was a real Rebbe. Okay, now comes the real story.
Naaman, commander of the king of Aram's army, was respected by his master and greatly honored by the people. For God had granted victory to Aram through him.
Okay, who is Aram? Aram is Syria. Aram was the strongest army in the Middle East. And everybody was afraid of them. They were like the superpower of the Middle East. And Naaman was the commander-in-chief of the army. It was a king in top of him, but Naaman was the commander-in-chief. And they made tzoros to the Jewish people on a regular basis. Then here is a story about Naaman. And he was an important person, and everybody respected him in the Middle East. Go ahead.
He was strong and was willing to fight at any time, but was unable to do so because he was a Saras sufferer.
Tzoras, they will come again many times here. For some reason, they didn't want in this translation to translate about leprosy. They used tzoras, probably because people think leprosy is a name for a regular sickness, and tzoras is a biblical sickness. It's not a sickness that comes you go to the doctor for. It's when God is not happy with a person, He gives them this kind of leprosy. In the time of the Bible, it's not only for speaking Lashon Hara. For every bad thing, God give the person tzoras. There is tzoras for kings who try to enter the Holy Temple. There is tzoras for many things. If God is not happy with you, if a person gets a tzoras, he knows God is not happy with you. That is not happy with them. That's why they didn't translate it. They left the word tzoras, but it means leprosy.
Is there a connection between Surus and Saras?
Yes,
I was gonna
yes,
ask.
yes.
Yeah.
It's probably a colloquialism.
Is it a play on words, or is it the same derivative, same root?
It's they say it's the same roots. It's not.
It's not the same.
No, tzarot and tzarat is not the same word. It's almost, but not the same. No, it's not the same, but many people compare it. Yeah. If you have tzoras, you have tzoras. I can tell you that.
Plenty.
Okay. Why God the leprosy? Here comes the real explanation. Why God leprosy? Why this big army general got leprosy?
His name was Aram.
His name was Naaman. Aram is the name of the country of Syria. The name of the general who got leprosy. His name is Naaman. Okay.
When the Aramites had gone out in raiding parties, they had captured a young girl from the land of Israel, who became Naaman's wife's servant.
That they captured the Jewish girl. When you capture a good Jewish girl, you get tzoras. Simple as that. Don't start up. Don't make tzoras.
She told her mistress,
And she became one girl, she became the servant of the general. Obviously, she was something unique. Okay.
sort of almost like Yosef.
Yes. It's a very
Esther,
similar
yeah.
story. Yeah.
She told him,
Because this little girl brought relief to the Jewish people. You're right, I didn't think about it, but it's like the same cycle.
she told her mistress, if my master's request will be brought before the prophet in Shamron, then he will cure him of his source.
Here is an interesting thing. A little girl, a young girl, she's a captive, but she shouldn't try to help her master. She can think if he will die, she'll be released. But she didn't think like this. She told his wife, tell the master that there is a prophet in Israel. There is a prophet in Israel. Every little child in Israel knew that there is a prophet, Elisha, and he makes miracles. Send a letter to the Rebbe, you'll be cured. Let him go to the prophet. Okay, and he will cure him. Simple as that. She had a simple belief in God and in the tzaddikim, that if a tzaddik will give her a blessing, the prophet will give her a blessing, he will be cured. Okay. Naaman.
went and told his master, the king, saying, the girl from the land of Israel told me this, etc. The king of Aram replied, go and approach the prophet. I will send a letter to the king of Israel, telling him to instruct the prophet to cure you.
Okay, your name is Naaman, when you suffer, you're ready to do anything, right? Then Naaman goes to the king, he has to get permission. He tells the king, basically, your enemies in Israel, they have a prophet who can cure people. He says, I will send a letter to the king to take care of it. You go, better, sure, I need you. But he writes a letter, and Naaman goes with the letter. Okay, continue.
Naaman left, taking 10 talents of silver, 6,000 gold shekels, and 10 items of clothing with him as a gift for the prophet.
Okay, he says he's coming. He will make it worthwhile for the prophet to make the miracle. You have to pay. No, nothing is for free, right? Okay, continue.
He wrote a letter to the king of Israel, which read, when this letter reaches you, know that I have him of his terrors, thinking that the king would
You skipped
probably
No, you skipped the line.
That
I have sent my servant
Naaman to you that you should head
to heal.
to heal him of his terrors, thinking that the king would understand for himself that he should instruct the prophet of heal Naaman.
Okay, he sent him a letter. He told him when the letter comes, when the person who brings you the letter, you make sure you cure the person of Tzoras, of the leprosy. But he didn't tell him, send him to the king, to the prophet, to cure him from leprosy. The letter is to the king. Naaman shows up with a letter from the king of Aram, who tells them, the person who brings you the letter, you better cure him. The king believed that if every little girl knows that the prophet can help him, the king on his own will turn to the prophet and order the prophet to help this boy, this man. But he didn't say it clear in the letter, you understand? Then what happened? What was the reaction of the king? But
when the king of Israel read the letter, the prophet did not even enter his mind, since he did not really believe in the prophet and thought that the king of Aram was asking him to heal Naaman himself. He rent his clothes.
So what is happening here? He gets a letter. The king, every child in Israel believed in Elisha. One person didn't. More than one person, the king. You know, why the king didn't believe in Elisha? Why didn't enter his mind? What do you think?
He was the king.
So,
How should you believe in God?
if he believes in Elisha, he's signing an important check. And if Elisha tomorrow says you have to go to Shul, that Elisha was the man of God. These kings were idol worshippers.
Yeah.
They rather not believe in Elisha and not get any miracles and suffer than believe in the prophet. Believing in the prophet means accepting the rules of God. You have to observe Judaism, you cannot worship idols. It's not the deal he's ready to do. That he rather become an atheist. He doesn't believe in it. He believes in idols. He doesn't. You see, non-Jews, you speak to them about God, there is no problem. Anytime. Every Jew, every Chacham is an atheist. Why? Because for a non-Jew, if he believes in God, that's fine. God doesn't request too much of a non-Jew. Just be a good person, be honest, be fair, be a mensch, and finished. A Jew, if he believes in God, 630 commitment. It's much, the evil inclination of the Jew much more pushes him to say that he doesn't believe in God. Because if you believe in God, it's a big check to sign. Where a non-Jew has no power. Here's the same thing. The king suddenly thinks, oh, what he wants from me? It didn't even enter his mind, Elisha. Elisha in the king's mind didn't exist. Not that he didn't know that he exists. In his mind, he's nothing. He's a nobody. He hears miracles, nothing. It's a joke. Who cares? Then what is he doing when he gets a letter from the strongest army in the Middle East, the strongest king in the Middle East? Kill this man or else. He got scared. What he did? He rent his clothes. Go ahead.
Me?
After the parentheses.
He rent his
He
clothes.
rose and fight and said,
Am I God who can kill or restore to life, that he sends someone to me to cure him of its source? He is obviously seeking a pretext to come and fight against me.
Suddenly he rent his clothing, he's all mourning. He says, what is going on here? I'm not God, I don't know what he wants from me. He's renting his clothes. What is really happening here? Hashem, when he's doing something, this little girl is reminding so many people that there is a God. Number one, we are having here Naaman and his king will learn that there is a God. That the God of Israel is the true God, as we're going to see later on. But on the way, we are fixing a few other people, like the king of Israel, who's trying to deny God. And now, because of the non-Jew, Nebuch, he has to start to believe in, to turn to the prophet. He has no choice. But sometimes the world makes you to believe in God, even if you don't want to. The non-Jewish world will force the Jew to do the right thing.
So this is the story before Jonah then, basically.
Before what?
Before Jonah.
It's before Jonah, yes. But it's another story like Jonah that the Gentile world believes in God, yes. It was because it's a part of the responsibility of the Jews to bring to believe of God to the rest of the world. Not only upon us, not only for us, but we have to share it with the rest of the world. And this is a perfect example. And, by the way, the Jewish king will have to believe to Nebuch. He will also have to start to believe in God. Okay, then Elisha.
When Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had rent his clothes, he sent a messenger to the king, saying, Why have you rent your clothes? Let him, Naaman, come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel.
Oh, first of all, it's very similar to the story of the Megillah. He heard that he rent his clothes. The renting the clothes was also by Mordechai. And Esther heard that he rent his clothes, and she sent him a messenger. Very similar. Or here the prophet tells the king, sends a messenger to the king, why are you getting all worked up? Let him come, and he will know that Yesh Navi Israel. There is a prophet in Israel. There is somebody who can speak in the name of God, and somebody that God empowers them to make miracles. From time to time, Hashem shows miracles in the world to remind the world that there is a God. During the time of the prophet, it was a lot. But even today, from time to time, we see such unbelievable things that we see that there is a God. I mean, Antebi was one perfect example. Then they saved the whole plane. That was beyond anybody's imagination. But even when the plane who landed on the Otzen River, remember a few years ago, and nobody was hurt. That's beyond a miracle. I mean, this could end up the opposite. The natural way, everybody would have to be killed. That not a person got a scratch, that's beyond belief. Or there were 39 missiles in the Persian Gulf, the first Persian Gulf War, that nobody was killed in Israel. 39 missiles in Tel Aviv. I mean, from time to time, Hashem shows the world that He runs the world. And that's exactly what He says. He says, let them come to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. Yesh Navi B'Israel. Okay, number 11.
Are we on 9?
11.
9.
No, we're
9? Oh, I'm
nine.
sorry. Go ahead.
Naaman came with his horses and chariots and stood at the door of Elisha's house. Elisha sent a messenger to tell him, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your healthy skin will be restored to you, and you will be ritually pure.
And Elisha didn't even want to look at him. He didn't even welcome him to his office. He sent him out his shamesh outside. Soon we'll read about his shamesh, Gehazi. And he told them, go to the water of the Jordans and wash yourself.
Can a Gentile become ritually pure? What does that mean? What's he
You
ritually pure for? What's he,
told
what's
them,
he,
and you purify yourself. Ritually, pure.
It's pure.
Told them pure. Tahara, it means purity, yes. Whatever it means, yeah. He told,
How did Elisha even know what his illness was?
obviously Elisha heard that he has leprosy. That's why he came to Israel. That's why he came to the king. That's why the king fell apart. That's why he told the king, send them to me, I'll take care of it. Why he told him, send them to me? It was a part to show him that's coming from God. Even if he didn't see him, why he needed to tell him, send them to me? To what's leprosy? Leprosy comes from haughtiness, from being full of yourself, arrogance. Then coming to the prophet was another step of humbleness for Naaman, standing outside the door. He didn't even want to see him.
Well, it's a spiritual ailment, leprosy.
Sure, we spoke about that. Then there is a Hasidic story about a Chassid, one of the disciples of the Maggid of Mezrich, went, I think it was to the Alter Rebbe, came in middle of the night, and he knocked on his window. He tells them, who is it? He told them, it's me. In Yiddish, me is ich. Told them, ich? Ich doesn't go. If you still talk about ich, then I don't let in ichs. People who say me. So if it's about me, they are not coming in. This disciple turned around, he said, I didn't learn anything yet. He went back to Mezrich. Understand? Goy Naaman, the most glorious general of the Middle East, coming to the prophet of Israel. First of all, coming to the king. The king sent him to the prophet. From here to there, it's almost a bureaucracy. Comes to the prophet doesn't want to see him. He says, go to the river. Why the prophet did it? First of all, because Hashem told him. But one explanation we can say is because the prophet didn't want them to think that he is the one who cures them. The prophet wanted them to know it's coming from Hashem, pure God. Not him. He didn't want. Because you see from the answer, from Naaman's reaction, you see what Naaman expected, and that's exactly what the prophet didn't want to have. Let's see number 11.
Why does he pick the Jordan River? Is that the concept of the mikveh, basically?
Well,
it's a pure flowing water?
Pure water.
It's water, but why Jordan? Why not the Kinneret water? What are you asking me?
But, well, yeah, I mean, why does he pick the Jordan? It's a flowing river as opposed to a lake.
That's what the question was.
But I guess, does he pick, is this the foundation for the concept of the mikveh, having flowing natural water?
If this is the foundation, I mean, I'll tell you, the mikveh is written in the Torah. We don't have to go to the prophets. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But it's for sure part of the same idea. But Naaman was asking the same question that you're asking. You want to continue to read?
Naaman became angry and walked off. Here I was thinking that he'll come out in my honor, stand before me respectfully, and in order to cure me, he'll call out in the name of God, his God, and he'll wave his hand towards the afflicted area, and I, the Tsar's sufferer, would miraculously be healed.
He thought he'll come out a miracle maker, and he will do like this in his hand, and he will pray to God, and he will charge him, and it'll be done. That's exactly because he expected it. You see why Elisha didn't want to do it. First of all, you don't come with a preconceived notion to God. Leave all your preconceived notions at home and come with a fresh head, with a white paper, with an attitude of humbleness. Whatever God will say that I'm going to do. If you come with an agenda, you cannot. If you are full of if you have expectations, you can never grasp the excitement of the place. You cannot be inspired. Inspiration comes only when you come from a sense of emptiness. You're ready to hear. If you have, probably I'm going to hear this, I'm going to see this, you kill it. And he had a whole thing in his mind, what is going to happen, and suddenly it doesn't go by his plan. He got all worked up. And look what he says further, continue.
Aren't Amana and Parpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Am always washing here, and yet am I pure of Zaras? He turned away and left in anger.
Here came a patriotic argument. Oh, the waters of Jordan, the little water. Who was at the Jordan River lately? Were you at the Jordan River?
Yeah.
How much water is there?
Little.
Maybe enough for a mikveh, huh?
Yeah.
Garnished. You tell this guy, you tell Naaman, the Jordan River. It's a joke. He's making barely, he can have a little boat to take a canoe, he cannot do that. And he says, I'm going to Jordan River. We have in Damascus, we have rivers. It's an insult. If I'm a man of Damascus, huh? I don't need the rivers here. But he was asking, if it's about water, then I have better waters. It's about listening to God, not about the waters. And he was fighting the concept that he has to accept that this is the prescription that God gives him. And doesn't make a difference if it makes sense or doesn't make sense. You have better water, I have worse water. It's not about the water that you have. That's what God wants. You know, a mikveh should be very clean. And thank God all the mikvehs today are very clean. The mikveh in Son Chabad, we have a beautiful mikveh, shining, the water are amazing. But in essence, why I'm making this introduction, you shouldn't think that it's not clean. But in essence, a dairy mikveh purifies you. And the biggest and the best shower doesn't purify you. Cleans you up or doesn't purify you. Why? Because that's what Hashem said. What's a mikveh? A mikveh, you go into the water and you put down your head underneath. It's a matter of humbleness. The word tvilah means to toivel, to immerse yourself in the water. The word litvol, toivel, and the word bitul means nullification, is the same letters, just rearranged. The whole concept of going to the mikveh is about humbleness. He just told that he was in the mikveh of the Arizal. The mikveh of the Arizal is in Tzfat. And in Tzfat it's a place where we were there, I think. Yeah. And in this mikveh, there's a tradition, the Arizal, it's a stream of water that goes from the mountain. And they build like a little house there. And the mikveh there, it's because it's pure water, it's fresh water constantly, it's very cold water. You go there, you get an experience of humbleness, first class. It's so cold that you come out alive from there, you thank God.
Yeah, talk about that, I didn't make it there.
The Ari mikveh, that's a pure, and beside the steps are not so safe, and you go there down, you just pray you come out. But it's very clean water, it's fresh water, you can drink it, it constantly comes new water.
I have a question of if
Naaman,
if he knew that he had this sarat, and did he know that this was a disease from God?
Not necessarily.
He didn't know it.
But he knows he is sick, and he knows there is a magic maker in Israel, and he comes to the magic maker, and he's waiting for all the magic maker coming to do some magic on him, and that's it. What are you telling me? Giving me orders, go to the river and immerse yourself. That was not a part of his plan. That's not what he expected. Let's put it this way.
Do we see any other rabbinic accounts of going to the Jordan for purification of any sort? In the Jordan specifically?
Any other rabbinic accounts? First of all, I don't know all the rabbinic accounts. Going to the Jordan River to nurses of May Yarden, I don't think so. But maybe. Meir, you know any stories of the Yarden? No, he doesn't know. He also doesn't. Okay.
One more question. When Noah went into the ark, was there an expression similar to immersing or tevet?
We say that the whole idea of the Mabul, the flood, was 40 days and 40 nights, right? The mikveh is 40 cubits of water. We say that the flood was taking the world to the mikveh. It was a serious mikveh. We don't want another mikveh like this.
You won't get one like that. It was promised not to have another one like that.
You're right, but this was the same idea of a mikveh, but it's not. They didn't talk God didn't tell him you're taking the world to the mikveh, no. Okay, what happened? He was angry. He left it in anger. We are in number 13 in the bottom of the page. Go ahead, Yitzhak.
His servants approached him and spoke to him. They said, "Sir, if the prophet had told you to do something difficult, wouldn't you have done it? All the more so when he tells you an easy thing. Wash and you become pure. You should listen?
They told them, you already made all the way. You came from Aram. It's not a shame. You came all the way. You made the trip. No, listen to him. What do you argue? No, I'm not going to Teufel. Give it a chance, maybe. Even for a maybe it's worth it. Okay.
Naaman went and immersed himself 7 times in the Jordan as the man of God had told him. His skin returned to be like the skin of a young child, and he was pure as Sarah.
Guess what? When you listen to what Hashem says, it works. He immersed himself in the mikveh. He became pure in the Jordan River, and his skin became like a little child.
Well, let me ask you another question then. Since he was not Jewish, he didn't have to go out of the camp for 7 days.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't about the camp. No. You see, in the Parshat of the week, we read about the Kohen who pronounced what is leprosy, and he locks up the person, he coatings the person, and so on. What's the difference between the Kohen and the prophet? The Kohen pronounced you as a leopard. The prophet cures you from leprosy. What I need somebody to tell me that I'm a leopard. What good is this doing? The prophet cured them from leprosy. No, it wasn't about locking him up. It was about curing him. It was about showing the most powerful person in the Middle East that there is a God. That's what it was all about. That was the whole agenda. And on the road, educating the Jewish king too, by the way, if he can have a side benefit. Yeah?
Does Naaman, does that mean anything? Or is it just a name?
Yeah, now it's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah, but Naaman means Noam. Noam means pleasant. Yeah, Naaman is a name of pleasantness. Was he a pleasant guy? Looks like. After all, yeah, he listened. Okay, number 13. 15, I'm sorry.
Naaman returned to the man of God, both he and all his entourage, and came and stood before him. Naaman said, "Now I know that there is no God in the whole world other than in Israel. Now please accept a gift from your servant."
Oh, here, this time Elisha is welcoming him. Oh, now you can come in. No problem. Now that you're cured. Could be Elisha also didn't want to see him as a leper. Leopard is an impurity. He didn't want to look at it. Now that he's pure, he welcomed him to his house. They sat down, they said l'chaim, with the whole entourage, everybody's happy. He said, what is he saying? He's saying an amazing thing. He says, now I know that there is no other God but in Israel. That's exactly what Elisha wanted to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And he tells them, take my present, take my, what he told them, take my gift. Please accept my gift, the gift from your servant. From your servant. The strongest man in the Middle East calls himself in front of a Jewish prophet, your servant. That's unbelievable what's going on here.
So is he actually converting at this point? I mean, he's already been to the mikveh. So.
He's not converting. It's interesting. We are not looking for converts. You need to understand. We are looking for that the Gentile world should believe in God. The job, because the moment if he would become a convert, we lost him. And I'm not the Jew. No, what good is this doing? If he stays as a Gentile general, he has his unbelievable power. He can inspire many, many others to believe in God. Then, because the job of everyone has a mission. If you're born Jewish, the job is to be Jewish. You're born not Jewish, the job is to be not Jewish. But you have an obligation to believe in God. And your job is to bring other people to believe in God. Mm-hmm. Then no, he didn't try to convert them. He tried to make him a believer in God and not in idols. That's what he tried to make him, and that's what he did. That here is Elisha's response. Amazing reaction to his offering for the gift that he's trying to offer again.
Elisha replied, "By the living God, before whom I regularly stand in prayer, I cannot accept any gift."
Why not? Elisha is a yeshiva with 2,000 students. He needs to support them. Here comes a guy, he made for him a miracle. Take a piece. Well, I mean, he gives you money. What do you mean don't take a gift? Why didn't he want to take the gift?
Didn't want to make it look like he was doing this for the incentives.
Or that even, in some sense, that he even did it. He's just an instrument doing it.
This is true. But there is more to it. What do you say?
No, I was screwed with Mark, yeah.
That he was an instrument. If it's like, it's not me, why should I take money for it? But the reaction from, the answer from Naaman will really shed light why he didn't want to take money. What did Naaman say?
Naaman said, "At least let your servant be given 2 mule loads of earth from the Holy Land."
No, you skip. Naaman begged Elisha.
Naaman begged Elisha to take something, but he refused.
But he refused, exactly. Naaman said, continue.
Naaman said, "At least let your servant be given the 2 mule loads of earth from the Holy Land to build an altar. For your servant will no longer offer burnt offerings or sacrifices to other gods, but only to God."
Oh, then what is happening here? If Naaman would pay, he's paid and done.
Good morning.
He's living away, he's walking away. You did me a miracle, I paid, and that's the deal is done. When he told him, I'm not taking any monetary compensation, what is he really saying? I want more than that. You got a miracle from Hashem, you think you're going to pay the Soviet $1,000? We want more than your money. Not long ago was a big dinner for Chabad in Paris. It's my brother-in-law, therefore I know about it. And to this dinner they invited a rabbi, Adin Steinsaltz. He came to speak there because he's the brother-in-law of my brother-in-law's father. Our story. It's a family, basically. He came, I'm related to at least half of the Jewish people. Then he came there, he spoke for 4 minutes. He spoke in Hebrew, and they translated to French. 4 minutes he spoke. It was maybe 2,000 people in the room. He stood up and he said, guys, we don't want your money. We want your neshama. And that's what it's all about. We don't need your money. We want you. Hashem needs your money. Hashem has more money than us. We want the person. Hashem wants the person. Not just his monetary. There is a story that we see about when Abraham saved Lot and the people from Sodom, right? And the king of Sodom told Abraham, take all the spoil that you want. But Abraham told them, the king of Sodom told them, Ten li hanefesh v'rechush kach loch. Give me the people and take the money, take the spoil. But the word, the way it's written in the Bible, Ten li hanefesh, give me the soul. Chassidus took it. Hashem is saying, give me the soul. I need you, not your money. It's like many times in a relationship, husband and wife, they say to I'll give you this, I don't need this and this. I need you. And that's what exactly Elisha says, I need your money. I want you to believe in God. Then because he couldn't pay this off, what is he saying? I'm not believing anymore in the other gods. I'm becoming a believer in God. That's it. But look what he's asking for. What you just read. Who read it? You. What's written there? Give me 2 loads of what?
Dirt. Earth.
Of earth? From where?
From Israel.
From where the prophet was standing. He wants dirt from Israel to take to Syria, to Damascus, and to build from the dirt of Israel an altar to God. There is a custom by a funeral to put some dirt of Israel. Mm-hmm. Is there any other source for it besides this in the Bible? Do you remember anywhere else that somebody brings dirt or takes dirt from Israel, the holy dirt?
Formation of Adam?
He created a person. That God, not a good proof. I don't think there is anywhere else. I think this is the only source for this tradition. Because it's an old tradition. Many people, they will take dirt from Israel and bring it to wherever they be buried, to put it under the head or something like this, to be buried with a little bit of dirt of Israel. But as I was learning that, I was thinking, this is the first time I see this concept in the Bible. Listen, I don't know the whole Bible, maybe there is another story, maybe there's not, but I don't remember anywhere to the concept of taking dirt from Israel and bringing it to the diaspora.
Is the concept of putting earth from Israel on the grave the whole resurrection concept, or is it something different?
I don't think it has to do with the resurrection. You'll be resurrected no matter where you are. If it's dirt from Israel, if you live in, but that's a different story. Here we're talking about taking dirt from Israel to serve God, because it's a holy ground. Here it's not just from Israel. The way the commentary says it was the way where Elisha was standing. He says, I want dirt from here, from the dirt that you are standing on. That the dirt that you are standing, it's like it's written by Moses. God tells Moses when he reveals himself at the burning bush, right?
Take off your
He tells him, why? Because Admas Kodesh, the land is holy. The earth is holy here. And that was not in Israel. It means wherever there is a real tzaddik, that the dirt that the floor that he's standing on it is a holy land.
But don't the dirt we take for funerals, isn't that from Jerusalem?
Anywhere in Israel, not necessarily from Jerusalem.
Isn't that just to connect you? Isn't that just to connect the person who died back to Israel?
Yeah, but what means connect? Because obviously that where we finding that taking dirt from Israel means something. I think that's the only place that's written. Then it's true that Naaman said it, but that's alone that it made it to the Bible. It means that the Bible agrees with it. You understand what I'm saying? If the Bible wouldn't think it's an important piece, it wouldn't even put it in. When the book of Kings was written, anything that's not important didn't make it. What made it to the Bible is only things that we can learn from. No matter who said that, if it's Naaman or Esau or Jacob, it doesn't make a difference. If it's written in the Torah, it's a message for us. That here is, I think that's the only place that's written the concept of taking dirt from Israel to build a altar or to do something with it. I never paid attention to it, but as I learned it today, it came to my mind. I look for it, I try to research it, I didn't see anything written about this concept. Okay, we are in number 18, I think.
May your servant please ask Hashem to forgive me, though for this one thing. When my master, the king, goes to the temple of Rimmon to bow down there, his bowing courses me to bow down to in the temple of Rimmon. May Hashem please forgive this servant for bowing down in the temple of Rimmon. Elisha told him.
Okay, that he told him like this. You know, I'm going back to Damascus. I have a king. I'll have to go together with him to his shul and to bow down to his idol. Then you should know Hashem forgive me. I go there, but I don't really mean it. I believe in God. Okay, number 19. Elisha told him.
Elisha told him, go in peace, and Naaman traveled away from him some distance.
What is going on here? He told him, go in peace. Who else was said go in peace?
When Abraham sends Lot?
He doesn't say go in peace, no. Lech beshalom. There is lech leshalom and lech beshalom. I think it was Yoav ben Tzruya. Avner ben Ner was killed, right, Avner? Avner was killed, right? And before them, I think King David or somebody told them, go in peace, lech beshalom. Therefore, who told them lech beshalom? David, right? David told to Avner, go in peace. We learned that one of the Haftorahs was one of the Haftorahs. I think it was, no, maybe not. In any case, there is lech leshalom, go in peace. It's you go in peace. When you say go with peace, is a sign that Avner didn't end up with peace. He was killed.
Got killed.
That's what I'm saying.
David's general.
Exactly, David's general. Yoav. Exactly. And that's why we don't say lech beshalom, we say lech leshalom. This letter makes a big difference. Exactly. Here's the story, ends nice and fine, clean, beautiful. What was the continuation of this story? The continuation of this story.
His assistant.
Elisha had an assistant. His name was Gehazi. Not because Elisha was a holy man, it means that his assistant was also a holy man. You know, every holy man has a guy who helps him who is not so holy, because if not, the holy man will be bombarded by all the people who are trying to take advantage on you, on a tzaddik. A righteous man, if he has people who take advantage, there is no end to him. I mean, everybody wants him. And the people around, the secretaries have to be not so holy. Because if not, the holy man will fall apart. Then Elisha had a secretary, his name was Gehazi. Gehazi was the head of the chief of staff. And Gehazi was not so holy. Gehazi, after Naaman left, Gehazi went. And he told them, he ran after Naaman, and he told them, my master said he wants the money to give it to 2 students who come. Basically changed his mind. And he gave him the money. Elisha is trying to convince the guy to believe in God, and it's not about money. And 5 minutes later, his secretary runs and says, he changed his mind. If Naaman believed that he changed his mind or not, I don't think so. But he gave him money. When Elisha came back, when Gehazi came back, Elisha called him, he told them, Elisha is a prophet, you know what he did? He said, you took money from Naaman, right? The tzoras of Naaman will go on you. And Gehazi became a leopard. And he left Elisha. And he became a worker because he was good in running a show. He became a worker in idol worshipping house. Gehazi, the big Gehazi.
Doesn't he lose his share in the world to come too?
Yeah. And then Elisha, the Talmud says that Elisha went to convince him to come back. And he told Elisha, didn't you teach me that somebody who makes other people sin do not have a share in the world to come? Basically, they cannot repent, don't have forgiveness, because on your own sin you can pray, you can ask for forgiveness. But if you make another person sin and the guy walked away and he thinks that's okay, then you cannot fix it. You don't even know where to go. Basically, he didn't want to go back. And the Talmud says, from there we learn that we should never push away disciples. Not like Elisha did with Gehazi, and not like somebody else did with somebody else, right?
Yes.
Then what the story, Gehazi was even when he was by Elisha, not only this story, we had the story, we learned the Haftorah of Chayesora, we learned the Haftorah with Elisha was reviving the boy, that Elisha gave him a woman a blessing that she'll have a baby boy, and she had the boy, and a few years later the boy died, and she came to the prophet and she told him, you have to come, you gave me the boy, it's now you have to take care of him. And Elisha sent Gehazi with his staff, and he told him, put the staff on the baby and he will be revived. And he told them, well, don't talk to anybody on the way there. Don't talk to anybody. Don't say hello to anyone. And Gehazi went and told people, you think this stuff can revive people? He didn't believe in it. He put the stuff, nothing happened. That Elisha had to come by himself and lay down on the boy and made a miracle. That Gehazi was not from the best guys in town. Not only this, Gehazi used to sit outside of the house of Elisha, and the students used to come and say, is Elisha giving a class? No, he said, no, he's resting now. He was giving a class. He just basically took people away from learning Torah with Elisha. That Gehazi was not Gehazi was Gehazi.
Yeah, but Elisha knew that. He's a prophet. He knew that.
Sure, but Elisha needs a Gehazi. You need to understand. Give an example.
Well, Trump's guy who just, yanked the reporter, right? That's the classic example right now.
Give you a better example.
Trump's a prophet.
I'll give you a better example.
I don't think he needed that.
I heard it from one of the Rebbe secretaries. The Rebbe used to have 3 times a week audiences with people. And every person in a minute or 2, 3, you have to try them out, get them out. If you're a nice guy, you cannot stand by the door. You're worthless. You need to come and tell the guy the time is over, because our people are. That once one of the secretaries who were nice says once the woman was standing in the Rebbe's office and she's talking, and he opens the door, he's still talking. The next time he opens the door, the Rebbe is standing already. The 3rd time he's opened the door, the Rebbe is putting the coat on and he's talking to him. Literally, the Rebbe walked out before, you understand? Because she didn't let go. I know of another woman, actually family members, as I'm related to for half of the world, and she was standing by the Rebbe for 2 hours. She was sitting by the Rebbe. If the right secretary was there were 2 secretaries. By one secretary there was no chokhmas. You were out. By the other one, he was a nice guy, and the Rebbe cannot chase people out. That you were going on, and why this, and why this, and why this, and this, people go on and on and on and on and on. 2 hours she was by the Rebbe's office. Then what I mean to say is, every Elisha needs a Gehazi. But you don't want to be a friend of this Gehazi, I can tell you that.